High above the city stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was covered with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes, he had two bright sapphires. A large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. Everyone thought he was very beautiful. Passers-by would often stop and gaze at the magnificent statue. They would remark on his fine craftsmanship and dazzling jewels. He was the pride of the city. "He is as beautiful as a weathercock," remarked one of the town councillors. He prided himself on his practicality. Though not nearly as useful, he added, never one to miss an opportunity for a comparison. "Why can't our sons be like the Happy Prince?" asked mothers of their children. Their children, more interested in playing, would pay little heed to their mothers' words. The mothers would sigh and continue on their way. The Happy Prince was indeed a sight to behold. The Happy Prince stood, tall and proud, in the city square. He watched over everyone with his sapphire eyes. From his high perch he could see all the happenings of the city. He saw the rich rushing about in their carriages. Their faces were full of laughter and joy. They were off to attend grand parties and indulge in luxurious delights. Their lives were filled with ease and plenty. He saw the poor struggling to survive. They were thin and poorly dressed. Their faces were etched with worry and despair. They worked long hours just to put food on the table. Their lives were full of hardship. The Happy Prince saw all of this, and his heart was filled with sadness. He wished he could do something to help the poor and less fortunate, but alas, he was just a statue, or so he thought. One day, a little swallow flew over the city. He was on his way to Egypt for the winter. He had been flying for many days and was very tired. He decided to rest for a while on the feet of the Happy Prince. "I will rest here for the night," he said to himself. "This golden pedestal looks rather comfortable. It will make a fine bed for a tired traveller." Just as he was settling down, a large drop of water fell on him. He looked up, surprised. It wasn't raining. He looked around and saw that the Happy Prince was crying. "Why are you crying?" asked the little swallow. He was a kind and curious bird. He couldn't bear to see someone in distress. "My little friend," replied the Happy Prince, "from up here I can see all the ugliness and misery of my city. My heart aches for them, but I can do nothing." The swallow was touched by the prince's words. He had never met anyone who cared so much for others. The swallow felt a pang of sympathy for the statue. "I am the Happy Prince," continued the statue, "yet I am not happy at all. I long to help my people, but I am trapped in this form. My heart weeps for them, and my tears have turned to gold." The little swallow was amazed. He had never met a statue that could talk, let alone cry tears of gold. He decided to stay a while longer and listen to the prince's tale. He felt drawn to the prince's compassion and wanted to know more. "In a little street behind me there lives a poor woman," the prince said. "She is a seamstress, and her fingers are pricked by the needle. Her little son lies ill, burning with fever. She has nothing to give him but river water." The swallow listened intently. He had never really paid attention to the plight of the less fortunate. He was too busy enjoying the freedom of the skies. But the prince's words stirred something within him, a sense of responsibility he had never felt before. "Will you take my ruby to her?" the prince pleaded with the swallow. "I cannot move from this spot, but you are strong and swift." The swallow hesitated. He was already late for his journey south. He longed for the warmth of the Egyptian sun and the company of his kind, but the prince's sadness was too much to bear. "It is very cold here," said the swallow, his heart softening, "but I will stay with you for one night and be your messenger." "Thank you, little swallow," said the Happy Prince. The swallow carefully removed the large ruby from the prince's sword. He took it in his beak and soared down into the city. He found the seamstress weeping over her sick child. The swallow quietly flew in and placed the ruby on the table beside her. The woman looked up in astonishment, her tears drying instantly. She had never seen such a magnificent jewel. With the ruby, she could buy medicine for her son and food for her family. When the swallow returned, he told the prince of the joy he had brought. The Happy Prince smiled, his golden face glowing with happiness. "Now," he said, "do you see that young man at his desk? He is a writer, but he is so poor and hungry that he has no strength left to write. His hands are blue with cold." The swallow looked down and saw the young man huddled over his papers. He did indeed look miserable. The swallow, moved by the prince's compassion, agreed to help. Take out one of my sapphire eyes and give it to him, the prince instructed. He can sell it to buy food and firewood and finish his play. The swallow was hesitant to pluck out the prince's eye. It will hurt you, he chirped, worriedly. Do not worry about me, little friend, the prince assured him. The happiness I feel from helping others far outweighs any pain. So the swallow carefully removed one of the prince's sapphire eyes and flew with it to the writer's window. He dropped the jewel onto the writer's papers. The young man was astonished. He saw the shining sapphire and wept with relief. He could now finish his work and escape poverty.